Have you ever found yourself wondering why some people always seem to attract the attention and desire of women, while others remain on the sidelines, trying every possible way to win interest? This can lead to frustration, that feeling of doing everything right but not seeing the results you want. Maybe you feel lost, trying to please and be noticed, but nothing seems to work. The truth is, many men fall into the trap of believing they need to always be present, pleasant, and available. And what does that lead to? Disinterest. But what if I told you the secret is not in chasing, but in becoming her obsession? There is a common weakness in all women that, when understood, can completely change the dynamics of your interactions. It's not about manipulation, but about understanding how to manage your own attention and energy. High-value men don't give in to desperation or the constant need for validation. They maintain a firm, confident stance and understand that the power lies in being desired, not in chasing. In this video, you will discover how to use the principles of Stoicism to master this weakness and transform the way you are perceived. We'll talk about how to manage your attention, be assertive, and stay focused on yourself, building a life that she wants to be a part of. The solution lies in taking control, not changing who you are, but becoming the best version of yourself, someone who doesn't need to chase because he is naturally desired. So, if you're ready to let go of frustration and finally understand what makes a man truly irresistible, stay with me. Subscribe to the channel and hit like so I can bring more content like this in the future. Many people fail to achieve their dreams and goals because they can't stop procrastinating and stay focused on their objectives, which is why I'm offering my ebook, Overcome Procrastination with Stoic Philosophy, the ultimate guide to success. Downloading it is simple. Just click the link in the first pinned comment and start this change today. Let's begin. You know, there's something I learned over time that completely transformed the way I see relationships. The importance of managing attention. It may sound simple, but mastering this is the key to becoming a woman's true obsession. And I'm not talking about empty games or manipulation. I'm talking about understanding what really makes someone value our presence. Imagine this. You're with a person who always seems available, all the time, without breaks. At first, it might seem amazing, but after a while the sense of conquest disappears. It's as if the magic fades, and that's exactly where the power of knowing when and how to manage your attention comes in. It's about making it clear that your time is valuable, and therefore cannot be given at any moment, without criteria. I remember when I started understanding this, there was a time I was interested in someone, and I did everything to be present. Messages all the time, quick replies, absolute availability. Do you know what happened? That person's interest in me decreased. That's when I realized my value wasn't in always being available, but in showing that I also had my own life, my own interests, and that being with me was a choice, not an obligation. That's when I changed my attitude. I started valuing my time, investing in myself, and being more selective about where and with whom I spent my energy. It's impressive how that changes everything, because suddenly, you're no longer the one chasing. You become the person she wants to win over. Epictetus once said, "We are disturbed not by things, but by the views we take of them." And that's exactly it. The way you see yourself, as someone of value, determines how others see you too. When you are the center of your own life, when you are sure of your value, something changes. You stop seeking validation and start offering something rare, your true presence. But it's not a constant presence, it's a valuable one. And that's where the secret lies. Strategic ignoring is not being cold or cruel. It's simply showing that your world is big, and that anyone who wants to be part of it needs to earn it. It's not about playing games, but about having clarity about what you offer and its value. This creates curiosity, desire, obsession. When you disappear occasionally, when you dedicate yourself to other things, when your attention isn't guaranteed, it awakens something deep within her. She starts wondering, what could he be doing? Is he thinking about me? That's the point where her attention is on you, not the other way around. And you do this because you value who you are. Becoming someone's obsession is a side effect of being an interesting person, of knowing how to manage your own attention. After all, what is scarce has value, and what is rare is desired. I want you to think about this. Are you being the prize or just someone who is always available? I want you to write in the comments, "I am the prize." Write this as a commitment to yourself, a reminder that you deserve to be valued. This is your opportunity to internalize this message and take the first step toward becoming someone who sparks irresistible interest. Continuing on this journey of becoming someone who attracts and sparks interest, there's a crucial point we need to address. not showing neediness or desperation. Managing attention is just the beginning. Now, it's essential to understand that the way you handle your emotions and desires makes all the difference. Many men end up falling into the trap of demonstrating neediness. They desperately seek validation, whether through frequent messages, gifts, or simply always being available. The problem here isn't the intention itself, wanting to be close, wanting to please, but rather the way this manifests. Neediness and desperation unconsciously communicate that you do not consider yourself enough on your own, and that you need someone to validate who you are. On the other hand, men of value are those who are not afraid to be selective. They know what they want, but they also know they don't need to chase after it frantically. They can ignore, not out of disdain, but because they have a full, rich life, because they are already complete. The attention they give is precious because it's not free, because it's not given at any time to just anyone. This makes them a challenge, and what is challenging is invariably more interesting. It's important for you to understand. Desperate behavior is a message that goes beyond words. Every gesture, every unanswered message, every attempt to please without reciprocity screams that you're willing to sacrifice your personal value in exchange for crumbs of attention. But on the contrary, when you show that you're in control of your own life and that you're not desperate, it becomes magnetic. You become someone worth knowing, someone worth pursuing. As Seneca once said, "Hurry slowly." There is no need to run towards someone as if you were fleeing from yourself. You must value your own time and space, making it clear that your company is a privilege, not a concession. When you become a person who knows their own value, others start to see it too. So, think, how have you been behaving? Are you someone who shows calm, confidence, who knows their worth, or someone who constantly seeks attention and approval? I want you to comment below. I am enough. Write this to make a commitment to yourself, to remind yourself that value lies within you, and there's no need for desperation. This way, you will become a true challenge, someone who sparks interest wherever they go, someone who becomes their own obsession. Now that we've talked about managing attention and not showing neediness, let's move on to the next essential point to becoming someone truly memorable: courage and a direct approach. Men of value are those who take control of their lives, who aren't afraid to act, and most importantly, aren't afraid to fail. Courage is one of the most powerful attributes anyone can have. We're not just talking about the courage to face extreme situations, but the courage to be yourself, to say what you think, to take actions that perhaps many wouldn't have the boldness to take. In a world where so many choose the path of hesitation, those who have the determination to step forward are the ones who truly stand out. Imagine the difference between someone who watches from afar, afraid of rejection, and someone who steps forward, introduces themselves, makes their intentions clearly known. The first person may never move forward, always stuck in insecurity and what if. The second person, even if faced with rejection, comes out stronger, more confident, because they know that true victory lies in the action and the courage to try. Rejection is not the end. It's just a momentary response, a step on the path of personal growth. Every no received is an opportunity to grow, to strengthen, to prepare for the next challenge. When you take responsibility for acting, without fearing the outcome, you automatically place yourself a level above most, because most fear failure, fear not being accepted, and therefore prefer to hide. Plato once said, "Courage is knowing what not to fear." When you understand this, rejection ceases to be something to fear and becomes just an experience. You know your worth is not tied to someone else's response, but to the simple fact of being who you are, of acting with authenticity and confidence. So the question is, are you ready to take control, to be the one who takes the first step, without fear of what others might think? Courage and a direct approach aren't about guaranteeing a specific result, but about showing that you don't hide, that you're here to live fully, to put yourself out in the world with all you have. I want you to comment here, "I choose courage." Write this to remind yourself that life happens to those who act, to those who step forward, even in the face of uncertainty. Be the example that inspires others, because at the end of the day, the true reward is not in the outcome but in the courage to have tried. Let's talk now about an aspect that has become central nowadays: the control of attention on social media. We live in a digital world where attention is the most valuable currency, and many people, especially women, receive constant validation through likes, comments, and messages. In this scenario, it is crucial for a man of value to understand that his attention should not be wasted freely and recklessly. Many get lost trying to be noticed, competing in a saturated environment. The truth is, if you want to stand out, you must understand that the attention you give should be a conscious choice, not an automatic reaction. Men of value know that constant validation doesn't create real impact, doesn't generate true interest, because what is offered without criteria loses its value. Imagine that every like, every message you send is a reflection of your time and energy. Do you really want to spend it in exchange for a crumb of attention among hundreds of other superficial interactions? Instead, focus on yourself. Use your time meaningfully. Invest in your passions, your projects, and in what makes you grow. When you become someone occupied with your own development, your presence on social media becomes something rare and therefore valuable. This makes any interaction you have carry more weight, making it genuine and authentic, rather than just another among so many others. Remember that what you project in the digital world is a reflection of your real life. If you're always available, always reacting, you're saying that there's nothing more important happening in your life. But when you're selective, when you choose to participate in a timely and careful manner, you show that there's something much bigger happening beyond the screens, your own growth journey. At its core, this choice boils down to one thing: knowing that you are enough on your own, and that you don't need to seek external validation to feel complete. When you live meaningfully, when your actions are guided by what truly matters, your attention becomes a gift, something that must be earned and not simply handed out. So instead of spending hours trying to be seen, invest those hours in becoming someone worth noticing. Work on yourself, learn, grow, dedicate yourself to what makes sense for your life. The irony is that when you stop seeking attention, that's exactly when you start receiving it for real. The kind of attention that matters, from those who see value in who you truly are. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful aspects for any man who wants to stand out: a fearless state of mind and authentic charisma. High-value men are not those who never feel fear, but those who know how to deal with it. They cultivate a mental state of calmness and confidence, even when in challenging situations, especially in the presence of women. When you approach someone with a calm, fearless mindset, you convey an energy that is undeniably attractive. This calmness and confidence come from self-knowledge and the certainty of who you are, regardless of external validation. It's not about being perfect, but about being comfortable with yourself, about fully accepting yourself, including your flaws and vulnerabilities. Many people believe that charisma is something you are born with, but the truth is that authentic charisma comes from deep self-confidence. It arises when you stop trying to be someone you're not, and instead embrace your own identity with honesty and transparency. When you are at peace with yourself, when you enjoy your own company and know the value you bring to the world, that confidence reflects in your interactions. Imagine being in a conversation without the pressure to prove something, without the need to impress. You're just there, genuinely interested, present, listening, without fear of how you'll be perceived. That is true charisma. Being able to connect with others without the constant worry of being accepted or pleasing them. Once, Aristotle said, "Courage is the first of human qualities, because it guarantees all the others." And this could not be more true here. Cultivating a fearless state of mind allows all other qualities to flourish. It allows you to be authentic, to have presence, to radiate a confidence that needs no words to be understood. It is this courage that makes people want to be around you, that makes your presence something desired. When you find yourself in situations where you would normally feel anxious, take a deep breath and remember, your value does not depend on the opinion of the person in front of you. Your presence is valuable simply for who you are. This understanding is liberating and makes all the difference. From this mindset, you become someone who brings calm and security to the environment, who inspires confidence and who consequently attracts others naturally. This is how you cultivate authentic charisma, by being true to yourself and staying calm and confident, without fear of being who you are. And this authenticity is what truly makes a difference, what makes you memorable, someone worth knowing. We've made it past the middle of the video, and since you're still here, I ask you to leave a like so I can continue bringing content like this in the future. Stay with me until the end of the video, because what I'm about to share is something very few people know, but it makes all the difference in achieving truly impactful results. And if you want to know the Stoic secrets to never procrastinate, just download my ebook, Conquer Procrastination with Stoic Philosophy, the ultimate guide to success. Moving forward, we need to talk about the importance of not rewarding bad behavior. Men of value are those who know exactly what they deserve and do not settle for less than respect and consideration. This does not mean acting with coldness or arrogance, but rather with the certainty that your attention and energy are precious and should only be offered to those who show respect. In many situations, we may end up tolerating behaviors we don't like, whether out of fear of losing someone, insecurity, or the mistaken belief that accepting anything is a way to show love. However, acting this way sends a very clear message that you are willing to endure mistreatment or disrespect as long as it keeps the other person around. A man of value understands that this is never a fair exchange. Imagine you are in a relationship where the other person constantly acts disrespectfully, ignoring your boundaries or dismissing your opinions. If you simply accept this, you are showing that your self-worth is so low that any behavior is acceptable as long as you have their attention. Instead, the wise choice is to step away, set boundaries, and make it clear that bad behavior has consequences. When you remove yourself from such a situation, you send a powerful message. I do not accept anything less than respect. This doesn't have to be done with anger or resentment. It's an act of self-care, a demonstration of self-love. You are showing that you know what you deserve and are not afraid to walk away when boundaries are crossed. This stance, in addition to being essential for preserving your emotional health, also generates respect. When you do not reward bad behavior, the other person understands that, to have your attention, they must be better. They must show respect and consideration. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike those who caused the harm." It's not about paying back in the same way, but about standing firm in what you believe to be just and respectful. When you act this way, you not only demonstrate your value, but also set an example for those around you. People learn how to treat you from the behavior you accept. Therefore, never accept anything less than respect, as this defines the standard of what you will allow in your life. Remember, value yourself enough to never reward bad behavior. Walking away is the clearest way to show that your attention is a privilege, not a given right. Your peace is worth more than any attention from someone who cannot treat you as you deserve. Let's move on to an essential point, focusing on goals and purposes. High-value men do not allow themselves to be distracted by what is fleeting, especially when it comes to flirting or trivial relationships. They have big goals, dreams that truly matter, and are determined to achieve them. It is this determination that sets them apart and puts them on a higher level, as they know that building a life they can be proud of requires time, effort, and above all, well-defined priorities. In a world where distractions are constant, many end up losing focus, wasting energy in pursuit of superficial approval or relationships that deep down add no value. But those with clear goals know where to invest their time. They understand that to achieve something great, it takes discipline and absolute focus, directing their energy to what truly makes a difference in the long run. When you focus on your goals and purposes, you are investing in something that no one can take away from you, your personal growth and your achievements. And the interesting thing is that this focus does not mean distancing yourself from people or giving up relationships, but rather choosing those that add value, that support your path, that make sense for what you want to build. Having clear purposes automatically makes you more interesting. Your life has direction, your actions have meaning, and this attracts people with similar values. What is trivial loses importance in the face of the greatness of a well-defined goal. Interactions cease to be superficial because you know what you want and are willing to invest in what truly matters. Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." It is this why that gives meaning to your life, that gives you the strength to overcome challenges, to stay strong even when difficulties arise. When you have a purpose, nothing seems more attractive than the journey of realizing it. There is no room for distractions that do not contribute to this path. So, instead of wasting energy on what is fleeting, seek what is meaningful. Build something you can be proud of, something that reflects your values and ambitions. It is this commitment to yourself that makes all the difference and that turns you into a person of value, someone who is not just going through life, but who is truly building something great. Let's talk now about the importance of valuing solitude. Men of value understand that being alone is not something to be feared, but rather a valuable opportunity for introspection and personal growth. In a society that often glorifies relationships and always being accompanied, it is essential to know that someone's true worth does not depend on their relationship status, but on how they relate to themselves. Solitude is not synonymous with loneliness. While loneliness can be a feeling of lack, solitude is a conscious choice, a way to reconnect with oneself, to better understand oneself, and to understand one's own thoughts and emotions. These moments of introspection are fundamental for self-development, as it is during these times that you can reflect on your actions, your goals, and the direction you want to give your life. Think of it as a necessary pause, a space where you can listen to yourself without external voices interfering. When you value these moments, you start to realize that your own company is enriching, that there is no need to constantly seek validation from others. This generates a sense of fulfillment and confidence that is evident to everyone around you. You begin to convey an energy of independence, of someone who is comfortable with themselves and does not need a relationship to feel complete. By valuing solitude, you also become more selective. You do not enter a relationship out of fear of being alone, but because the other person adds something meaningful to your life. This completely changes the dynamic of your interactions, as instead of feeling needy or dependent, you are someone who chooses to be with another person because you genuinely want to, not because you need to. The philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre said, "If you are lonely when you're alone, you're in bad company." This quote reminds us of the importance of cultivating a positive relationship with ourselves. Learning to enjoy moments of solitude is learning to be your best company, to be someone who finds strength and peace within, without depending on the external world for it. The fulfillment that comes from valuing solitude is powerful, because it is authentic. It is a confidence that does not need proof, does not need another person to exist. It is the reflection of someone who understands that true value comes from within, and that personal growth is a journey often taken in silence, with oneself. So instead of constantly seeking the company of others, learn to appreciate your own company. Use these moments to get to know yourself, to grow, to define what you truly want out of life. This is the path to conveying a genuine confidence and a fulfillment that no one can take away from you. After understanding the importance of valuing solitude, I want to share something that transformed the way I relate to others: direct and assertive communication. When you learn to value yourself and feel good about yourself, the need to express your feelings and intentions clearly and honestly naturally arises. There is no more room for ambiguities or games, because your time and energy have become too valuable to be wasted on misunderstandings. I remember a specific situation a few years ago when I met someone and, at the beginning, I was unsure about how to express myself. I tried to please, used indirect hints, and acted more like a good friend than someone with clear intentions. The result? I ended up stuck in that gray zone where nothing progressed. It was a frustrating experience, and it led me to reflect on how I was communicating. That's when I decided to change the way I approached my interactions. I began to be direct and clear about what I wanted, without fear of how it would be received. It wasn't about being rude or imposing, but about being honest and genuine. When I was interested, I said so. When something wasn't right for me, I also said so. This change brought enormous power, because it started to attract people who truly aligned with what I wanted and repel those who weren't on the same page. Being direct and assertive isn't about controlling the other person, but about being true to yourself, avoiding wasting time on ambiguities. When you position yourself clearly, you're showing that you respect not only yourself, but also the other person, by not leaving doubts or unfounded expectations. This creates an environment of trust, where the other person knows exactly where you stand and what you want. Moreover, maintaining an authentic stance without masking your intentions creates powerful energy. Strong masculine energy in this context isn't about dominance or imposition, but about security. It's about being present, knowing exactly who you are and what you want. The words you choose, the way you express yourself, everything conveys a message that goes beyond what is said. It conveys confidence. After adopting this approach, I noticed that my interactions became much more enriching. People respected my stance, and those who stayed by my side were precisely those who valued authenticity and clarity. It's amazing how, when you present yourself genuinely and directly, you attract exactly what resonates with that energy. So, if there's something I can share from my experience, it's this. Don't be afraid to be direct. Avoid vague statements. Avoid trying to please at all costs. Be clear. Be honest. And you'll see that your interactions will become more meaningful, authentic, and truly connected. Let's now talk about the importance of prioritizing your own life. This is fundamental for anyone who wants to build healthy and balanced relationships. I'll share some stories that serve as important reflections on how this principle can transform the way you relate to others. Imagine two scenarios. In the first, a man meets someone interesting and immediately is willing to change all his plans to please her. He cancels a commitment with friends, postpones an important project, and makes himself available, believing that this will show his interest. In the short term, this may seem like a considerate gesture, but the message it conveys is different. He is willing to give up his priorities and interests for someone he just met, showing that his own life and commitments are easily disposable. Now think of a second scenario. A man meets someone, is interested, but keeps his commitments and plans. He says he would love to see her, but at a time that fits with his responsibilities. This isn't being cold or disinterested. It's actually demonstrating that he has a full and meaningful life, with goals and priorities that he values. He conveys that his time is precious, that his own life is important, and that being with someone is a choice, not an obligation. This attitude not only makes him feel more confident and in control of his own life, but it also makes the other person value each moment together much more. When you make yourself always available, the other person ends up getting used to that availability and eventually stops valuing the interaction so much. But when you show that your time is limited, that you have your own commitments and goals, each moment together becomes special. It's important to reflect on how often we believe that constant sacrifice is the key to winning someone over. But the reality is that true value lies in being who you are, in showing that your life is complete and rich with or without the other person. This not only creates respect, but also attracts those who truly value you for who you are, not for how much you're willing to give up. The lesson here is clear. Keep your commitments, take care of your responsibilities, prioritize what makes sense for your growth and well-being. If someone is interested in you, that person should want to be part of your life as it is, without requiring you to give up your priorities. When you do this, you create much more genuine relationships, where both have their own lives, but choose to share important moments together. In the end, prioritizing your own life isn't about ignoring the other person. It's about respecting yourself enough to never fade away for anyone. This is what truly creates an authentic connection, where both value and respect each other for who they are. Now let's address a fundamental aspect for anyone who wants to grow and stand out: personal development. Men of value understand that growth is not something that happens by chance. It is the result of constant effort in various areas of life, whether physical, mental, or emotional. This commitment to self-development is what builds a solid foundation of confidence and inner strength. When we talk about personal development, we're talking about investing in yourself to become the best version possible. In the physical aspect, it means taking care of your body, engaging in physical activities that promote health and vitality. When you feel good physically, it not only reflects in your appearance, but also in your mental and emotional well-being. Every drop of sweat shed is proof of your commitment to yourself, a reminder that you are in control. In the mental aspect, personal development involves expanding your knowledge, continuously learning, challenging your own ideas, and seeking new perspectives. Reading, studying, and curiosity are powerful tools for growth and evolution. A man who dedicates himself to learning is someone who never stagnates, who is always seeking ways to become more prepared and aware of the world around him. In the emotional aspect, personal development is about recognizing and dealing with your own emotions in a healthy way, building resilience, and learning to face life's challenges with balance. Emotional intelligence is what allows you to remain calm in stressful situations, understand others' feelings, and relate more authentically. I remember a time when I was going through a difficult phase, and instead of sinking into frustration, I decided to use that situation as an opportunity to grow. I started dedicating more to my physical health, established a reading routine, and sought to better understand my own emotions. It wasn't an easy process, but each step brought me more clarity, more confidence, and more strength. That's exactly what makes the difference. When you dedicate yourself to personal development, you're telling yourself and the world that you deserve the best, that you're willing to invest in your growth, to overcome your limitations, and to become someone you can be proud of. This is the kind of strength that attracts, that inspires, and that makes others want to be by your side. I want you to think about this and write in the comments. I choose to evolve. Use this as a commitment to yourself, a promise that, no matter the challenges, you will continue to invest in your growth. Personal development is the foundation of all genuine confidence, and true strength comes from within. If you've made it this far, it already shows how committed you are to your own growth. This channel exists to help you reach your full potential and transform your life in every area. So, if you want to continue this journey of evolution, subscribe to the channel right now and don't miss any upcoming content. And leave your comment, share your reflections. Every interaction is one more step in building your best version. Remember, together we are stronger, and I am here to help you achieve everything you deserve.